Hey everyone, how's it going? Matthew Bailey Media here, and welcome to another 2023 movie review. And this time it is going to be on a movie that honestly I wasn't aware of, or it was a movie that I didn't expect to be coming out already. This movie caught me completely by surprise. And I gotta admit, this movie was not a lot better than I anticipated, and that is Nimona. Yep. This is supposed to be Blue Sky Studios' last ever film that was actually made by the company before they fully go out of business. And I gotta admit, this was like one of the crazier movies that they've ever done. Because if you look at all the Blue Sky Studios films that have been made in the past, you have like the Ice Age films, you got the Rio films, you got Spies in Disguise, which was another Blue Sky production. I can't remember if there are any other movies other than Ice Age, Rio, and Spies in Disguise. If y'all can give me any other examples that were made by Blue Sky specifically, let me know in the comment section down below. But Nimona is definitely a lot better than any of the other Ice movies like Ice Age and Rio, and specifically those are the two most known movies in this whole studio. But Nimona was something completely different. It basically follows the story of a young poor soldier who is about to be put into the line of knights to protect their home and from what they think are monsters. And then when he automatically gets framed for the murder of the queen of his land, he gets an unlikely pair up with a young girl known as Nimona, who the story is based off of. And it sort of shows it. Now, to be fair, I know there's a whole thing about them featuring a gay couple in this movie, and I will admit it doesn't matter with this whole gay couple, because honestly the movie doesn't focus on that as too much. There was still a good chunk of the character arc in that whole dynamic with the character who's a poor soldier and one who's descended from one of the better richer knights from the past, and they handle that extremely better than I thought they were going to be. And like I said, it balances just the right amount of that character development versus the character development and story development of Nimona's character, where they basically talk about how differences should not matter about a person. Like for example, Nimona is a shapeshifter who can shapeshift into all these random different animals, but she's different than a normal human being is, and because of that, they automatically see her as this monster figure. But with her to have an unlikely pair up with the main character of the poor soldier who is framed for killing the queen, the way that their characters have chemistry and they show like how much their differences of him being poor and her being able to shapeshift should not be a bad thing, and that people should embrace and be nicer to these types of people who are differences like that. That is the way that they told that story arc of understanding and respecting someone being different than being normal. They tell that so well in this movie. And again, it's not just that, but being balanced with a much better storytelling perspective, or I think that's how you say it. This balanced that out perfectly. And again, this is probably one of the best Blue Sky Studios films to ever come out from that company, unfortunately, before their untimely shutdown. And I gotta say, this was quite a surprise when it came to a film that was released on Netflix. Unfortunately, it wasn't released in theaters, obviously, but when they're released on Netflix, people were pleasantly surprised by how crazy good it was. And I will admit, this is definitely the much better solution of how to balance diversity and representation in a way, and still telling a compelling story, but having the two together and having it be much better storytelling. The way that they portrayed it is great in this movie. Again, if you have a Netflix account and you want to watch something that, even if it involves that type of stuff, go watch this movie. It is so good that I honestly did not expect to enjoy it. But anyways, let me give you my rating of the movie. So, for my rating of Nimona, like I said, it was a pretty crazy good movie that I wasn't expecting to have even watched as well. And I gotta say, now that I've seen it, and I've seen what my cousin thinks of it, I gotta say, it was definitely a film I wasn't expecting to enjoy, but boy did I enjoy it. So I'm gonna give Nimona a somewhat good 4.5 out of 5. Yep, it almost made a 5 out of 5, but again, it still has that whole situation that it's going for with the certain type of story plot that was put in the movie. But I still thought it was a great way to balance out good storytelling and that type of storytelling as well in the film together. So anyways, that's all for now in this crazy movie review. And happy late 4th of July as well for anyone who's watching this video. And as always, I will see all you guys in the next video.